We're here with a maxed raider. I'm going to show you guys what each statistic means and how to build your specific hero depending on who you chose. Alright, we're just going to start out going through each of the statistics and talking about what it does, and then we'll get more specific about what kind of hero should be building their statistics in what sort of way. Alright, we're going to start here with the headpiece. I have my debuff resistance, very minimal, my revenge mode duration, about 75%, and my exhaustion recovery all the way up. Debuff is just the other team's features when they put something on you to make you weaker. I myself chose that to be the lowest because the frequency that people do that is very low, and when they do, I guess it's going to affect me a whole lot, but all I gotta do is power through it, stay away from them till it wears off, etc. And revenge mode duration, I don't necessarily need a high revenge mode duration, but I mean, I would still rather have that over debuff resistance and exhaustion recovery. Of course, that is so important. If you become depleted of stamina, you've got to recover as quickly as possible. So that's how I built this. I would highly suggest building every hero's headpiece this same way because debuff resistance just doesn't seem like it's effective enough for it to even have to be used, or to even have the frequency of it being used. Alright, now we're here with the chest piece. I have my execution health regen all the way down, my block damage 75, and my sprint speed all the way up. Specifically with the raider, I am so slow, I needed to have that sprint speed, which is why I chose that to be the highest. The controversy part for me was choosing between execution health regen and block damage because the majority of my kills with the raider do come with execution, so that I was debating if I should have the health regen on that, since it will help me in battle. If I get that health back, then I can just turn back around and start fighting the next guy. But I also thought if I'm fighting more than one person at a time, if I'm fighting 2 or 3 people at a time, a lot of times I don't get to finish my execution, so it doesn't end up working anyways, and that's why I chose block damage. And block damage, specifically block damage, it means when you're blocking the enemy attacks, how much can you block? Like, if they hit you with a heavy, if you have high block damage, you will take very little damage, and if you have very low block damage, you're going to take some damage through your blocking. And that leads us into the next piece. On the arms, you have a block damage resistance, which means when you're attacking your enemy, how much damage you're going to do through their blocking. Block damage resistance, if it's all the way up, then that's like saying how much are you resistant to their block damage. So when they're blocking you, or when someone's blocking me, I'm obviously not going to do a whole lot of damage to them, but my character here in specific isn't going to be rapidly firing many attacks to be able to have I'm not attacking if they can block it. I'm doing grapples, I'm doing unblockables, I'm doing very few heavies, and if I get blocked, I'm in trouble. So I don't throw attacks that I'm going to be getting blocked. Other people, say you're using a Peacekeeper and Arachi, you're throwing a ton of attacks. Even the hybrid samurai, I forgot her name, but Nobushi, when she's throwing many attacks, she's going to get blocked a lot of times. But if you have block damage resistance up, you're going to be doing some damage through their blocking. But since the gear only matters in 4v4 modes, I have my revive speed up and my stamina regen, of course, because I'm using the raider. My stamina is very important, and I run out very fast because my big moves do take a lot of stamina. So that is how I built my raider here. And on to the headpiece. My attack, very low, but if I had to choose, that is what I would have to choose to be low. I don't want low defense, because defense means your health bar. If you have high defense, your health bar is going to last longer. If you have low defense, you have very little health, meaning you're going to get taken out in just a few swings. Once again, stamina, very specific to the raider. If I was using a smaller character who didn't cost as much to do their moves, I wouldn't have to worry about my stamina cost reduction as much. But raider specifically, I am fine going with low attack because his moves do so much damage, and the way I have my pieces built, as you'll see on the next two, is I'm very reliant on my revenge, because a lot of times in these 4v4 modes I'm getting double teamed, and if not, I'm just beating the other guy, I'm just beating his brains in, or I'm just throwing him off a cliff. And I don't need attack to throw someone off a cliff. I need to be able to stay alive, which is my defense. So we're going to move on to the next. And here we have the options between revenge gained by defense, which is all the way up. So I gain my revenge as soon as possible. My revenge mode defense, and my feature cooldown reduction. My feature cooldown reduction, it would be nice to have that higher, but I have to go with what's important first. Revenge mode defense is the amount of extra health you get when you pop revenge. That yellow bar that comes up, that it's like you over shield to your regular health. The more revenge mode defense you have, the more extra health you get when you pop revenge. So that is why I went with that. And revenge gained by defense, like I said, revenge is very important on my raider, because when I pop my revenge, anyone who's swinging at me will fall down. And if I get it more frequently, then I can break being double teamed more frequently, meaning I'll show you in a video right after this how fast people will die when I'm attacking them, because the raider is so powerful. And last piece, the pommel. We have throw distance all the way down because raider does have a huge throw distance, and because I needed that revenge mode attack damage and the revenge gained by injury. Once again, the revenge gained by injury all the way up like the revenge gained by defense, so that I gain it as fast as possible, can pop it, can bust those 2s and 3s that are on me, and the revenge mode attack, so I do that much more damage when I do pop my revenge. As you'll see in the video right after this, how devastating the raider is when I do activate my revenge. And throw distance, like I said, if you're using a smaller character, you might want to go with a little more throw distance if you're planning on throwing more. But specifically with smaller characters, you don't need to throw people off and stuff either. I actually wouldn't suggest throw distance to be very high on any hero. I would always go higher on the revenge gain and the revenge attack and defense. But with the smaller characters, let's get into that more. When you're using a smaller character, you're gonna want a higher attack, because you're not trying to tank moves anyways, and your attack is so fast you're not playing a lot of defense. So even if you want to flip it and go stamina being the one that gets the bad end of the deal, and attack being all the way up, because when you buy gear, it's going to be the same layout and it will come in every category. Like, you can just keep buying and you're eventually going to get it the setup you want, with one of your 3 statistics really high, 1 mediocre, and then 1 really low. And as you upgrade it, it's going to turn into this, as all of these are. So whatever you want, you're gonna have to buy for it. Don't settle for something you don't want, because that's dumb, because you're going to get what you want anyways. So just be wise about your characters. I'm gonna take a look at some of the characters real quick. Definitely all the assassins, I would go high damage, because you're just in their face destroying them. People like Nabushi, who are at range, Valkyrie, I would go high attack. I would actually suggest low defense for them and stick with your stamina, because you're trying to keep them at range. Valkyrie, I know, gets in your face, but she can shove you away as well, so she's still considered range in my opinion. I would go high attack, high stamina, low defense, because you try not to let anyone get that close anyways. Different characters that are like mid-ground, Warlord, Warden, Conqueror, the people that are aggressive yet bigger players that aren't as fast. I would go a mix. I would still. It's really dependent on your playstyle. The point of maxing your gear is to not switch your playstyle, but it is to strengthen your weaknesses. Meaning, My raider already has high attack. I don't need to strengthen his attack anymore. I need to strengthen his stamina, and that's what I did. So build it specific around your character, and I'm going to show you some examples to show you how important the gear actually is, because these things that I'm about to show you could not happen if I did not have my gear ranked all the way up like I do. Because if you saw my earlier video, I went from absolutely no gear purchases at all, no upgrades, no anything, just the basic gear, all the way to 108 straight in a bounce, so I could feel a huge difference in that day or two where everything got upgraded from nothing to maxed. And I'll tell you, it makes a world of difference. Although it's not impossible to win, it just feels like you're fighting forever when you're a lower armor, or if you're against a high armor person, or a high gear person I should say. It feels like it takes forever to kill them because they're popping revenge, their defense is high, maybe they're super strong and they just kill you in 2 or 3 hits. But the gear makes a big difference. So if you don't like messing with the gear, I would suggest doing duels and brawls until you get a little higher. Like I said, try not to buy gear until you get to reputation 3 at least, because you cannot get heroic gear before 3, and heroic gear is the purple colored gear that does max at yellow when you get it to 18. Anyways, I'll show you the videos and get on. Alright, this clip I'm showing you how effective revenge is when you're being double teamed. Why I want to earn it so fast. That guy fell. Unfortunately, this guy had me guard broke, so I couldn't immediately hit the guy on the ground. But look at the damage. Look at that. 2 hits. 2 hit. A regular low, weak attack followed by an unblockable killed him. 100 to 0. And then look, I earned my revenge again immediately. Once again, 2 hit kill, and he's dead. That is the power of revenge. I come over here to kill one. A second one ends up joining in. You'll see how fast I earn my revenge and how deadly it is. Just that 2 hit with the raider. This is why I don't need high attack normally, because I'm very reliant on that revenge. And even when I'm not, the raider still has so much power. Both people go down that fast. This clip really shows how important revenge is when you're playing 4v4 game modes and you get double teamed, triple teamed a lot. As you'll see here, I'm playing a game of elimination, and the enemy kills some of my teammates and eventually comes and doubles and triple teams me, and I just get my revenge so quick, and that power that I have because of my revenge attack, I'm able to just knock people down. And my high defense gain on revenge, and my high defense in general, is what manages to keep me alive when I get hit by all these people. And I'm actually just getting reckless because there's so much going on, I can't really focus on any individual, so I just get out there and start swinging for everyone. At this point, my team has 3 people up, and they only have 2, but they're about to get another revive that I couldn't get past right here to prevent him, but my team didn't help, so we managed to do that. But as you see, my health bar is still pretty far up there. Early on, when I didn't have a lot of gear, there's no way on earth that I would still be alive at this point. Got my revenge going with some extra damage. Normally I wait until I get hit to knock the enemy down, but specific in this situation, I just wanted to kill that guy, and I was so low on health I didn't know if he was going to kill me.